You know, this season of isolation, it's not easy. I've got a couple of friends who they've just come back from a trip, and they're in about halfway into their mandatory isolation, you know, inside a hotel room with security outside the door, and they're just going crazy. It's especially difficult for those of us who are on the more extroverted side. Now, I'm encouraged, though, that as you read in Scripture, from time to time, God uses isolation to do His bidding, to accomplish His purposes. One of the best examples of that is actually the story that happens right after Jesus' baptism. I want to read it to you. It's in Mark chapter 1, verse 12. It says that the Spirit then compelled Jesus to go into the wilderness. I've done a word study on that word wilderness, and indeed, this was isolation. I mean, some scholars have said that it's basically an area that's uninhabitable. The rocks, the different levels of the ground. I mean, there would have been no people, but the Spirit of God drives Jesus out there. Why? Perhaps that's where He needed to go in order to learn, to prepare for what would be one of the greatest showdowns ever when He deals with the devil at the end of those 40 days. I suspect that for you and me, that God can teach us some important, valuable lessons in a season of isolation. Indeed, if we can open our eyes and our hearts to what He would teach us, I suspect that we'll emerge from this season stronger, perhaps more spiritually mature than when we entered it.